had a little glitch and go down. We're back on the air. If you're back on the second time, do me a favor and say second time. But Doug, we were chatting about landscaping. You were saying from a productivity standpoint, it didn't make sense for me to go out and be landscaping. And there's a lot of different things that in the salon we end up spending our time to do. So I want to tell you a couple other things about outsourcing your time and ways that you can make sure that you get your time back, because I think this is one of the traps so many people get caught up in. Is that what can end up happening? And Doug, I see this all the time. Like I don't have it right here, but I have like I do like meal prep food, but I don't want to spend the time meal prepping. Okay, so I order from a company, they meal prep the food, they send it to me, and then I just have food ready to go. All I have to do is heat it up, and I'm done. But a lot of times what happens is when I talk to people, they go, ooh, you know, and like each of these meals costs like $11, right? $11 for each of these meals. And people will tell me things like, they'll go, well, wait a second, Jason, I could make that for less than $11. Okay, well, think about this for just a second. Is that if you could make that for less than $11, how much is your time worth? So if I've got to spend 2, 3, or 4 hours meal prepping that, how much is my time worth? Which is why I want to give you an analogy. And again, this is from Dan Martell. Shout out to him for doing this. Is what is your effective rate of time? So do me a favor, grab a calculator. We're going to put this in real quick. I want you to do this. Grab a calculator. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take how much income you make for the month. Take how much income you make for the month and divide that by 168. That's a normal amount of hours that somebody would work inside of a month. So if you take, if you make $5,000, $1,000, $2,000, $10,000, $20,000, $100,000, I don't care. Take however much money you earn per month and divide that by 168, and that will tell you your effective hourly rate. Okay, now if you're a business owner, do this for a second. Take your take-home income, divide that by 168. If you really want to mess yourself up, take how much money your business earns a month and divide that by 168. That's going to give you an effective value of your time. So as a business owner, you got to look at the whole value of the business, how effective the business is when you can work on it. But if you just, at individual level, take your whole salary, divide it by 168. Whatever that number is, look at it, and ideally, anybody you can pay less than that hourly wage to do something, you should have them do something. But as a starter kit, as a way to get this whole thing kicked off and kicked into high gear, do me a favor, and whatever that number is, whether it's $25 an hour, $50 an hour, $100 an hour, whatever it is for you, divide it in half. So let's say it's $50, Doug. Let's take that. Let's say you make $50 an hour. And if you're a stylist, you might make $50 an hour behind the chair. I don't know. Let's put this out there. You might make $50 an hour. But if you can hire somebody for $25 or less to do something, you should hire them to do so. There are so many areas in your life that if you started looking for areas where you could invest in spending some time for somebody else, you can upgrade the time that you would have spent, you will change your life forever. Doug, what else do you want to talk about for upgrading time here?
I think upgrading what you can do in the business to do better, but also upgrading what you're doing in your personal life to make it better. Yep. I mean, like if you're getting up and you're running out of the house because you don't have time in the morning, if you could buy some of that time back and take time for some meditation or some exercise before you get your day started, that's well worth buying that back because it's going to make you a more productive, more grounded person moving forward. It's like, look for those opportunities. The key is buying your time back, but then what am I going to do with that time to upgrade either personally or professionally that's going to move me to the next level of my life that I want to get to?
That's right. And again, if you keep upgrading your time and keep finding ways for you to elevate what it is that you're doing, you will continue to grow. And if you're thinking, Jason, I don't know where I could find somebody to upgrade my time, there's a couple places I want to send you to. First of all, we do it all the time. We do it when food delivery. Sometimes we say, hey, it's not worth me making the hour run to go pick this up or go handle the food and deal with all that. So I'm going to pay somebody like a Uber Eats delivery or something like that to do it. There's also services, depending on where you are, called TaskRabbit or Thumbtack.com, or you can go online and hire people at Fiverr, Fiverr.com, and have them do simple tasks for you, simple web tasks that would take you hours, they can do in minutes. It'll save you tons of time. And I also want to say this too, as we wrap this episode today, Doug, is that oftentimes we will do things on our own that take us hours that take professionals minutes.
Yep.
And I think that's another thing that is really key is like, I was doing this the other day is like, I am guilty of this one all the time. Is I'm like, I could probably figure that out. Are you a fixer like I am? Do me a favor and say fixer in the comment section. Is like, I could probably figure this out. But I learned a long time ago, I can change my own oil in my car. I went to like automotive tech school. Like I know how to change the oil in my car, my motorcycle, and all those things. But there's all these hidden things that you don't think about. Me running to the store to go buy the oil takes 30 minutes. I have to buy the oil, bring it back. Then I have to have other things I have to do. So I have to have a can that I put the oil into. So then I spend 30 minutes draining the oil out of my motorcycle, car, whatever it is, putting it into a container. Then I have to close up the container, put it back in the car, drive to the oil place where I can go drop off the oil back at the store again. Well, there's another 30 minutes that I just ate. And then I have to come home and take another 30-minute shower. Well, not 30 minutes, but I get time getting ready again and put myself back together. And I spend another 10, 15, 20 minutes. So by the time it's all said and done, it cost me an hour to 2 hours worth of time that I could have been spending with my kids. I could have been spending with my wife, or I could be working on the business, all to save 30 or 50 bucks on an oil change. Right? Yep. So can I change the oil on my car? Can I wash my car? Can I do all those things? Abso-freaking-lutely. But if you understand that you cannot spend all of what was I going to say? What I wanted to say was about buying time, right? We talk about all the time is that people say, well, the only thing you can't get more of is time. I say false. I say you can buy other people's time all the time. And that's what it means to be an employer. You hire employees. You're buying other people's time all of the time. When you compensate them well to do it, and you do it over and over and over again, and you keep scaling up, that's what it means to be a business owner. Doug, anything you want to say in closing here?
Yeah, I think it says, if you look at if you're $25, $50 an hour, that's what you're at right now. Well, if you buy back some time, could you up that to now you're $75 or $100 an hour because you're doing a higher value task? You're more effective at what you're doing. That's the mindset to get into. So you want to get to that next level of your life. You want to get that next level of your business. Start doing this process wherever you can, and just make sure you're upgrading that time that you're buying back, and then you can upgrade again and upgrade again. So It's a beautiful thing when you see it.
So here's your job as you leave. If you want to make more money, you got to find somebody to do your job for the same rate you were doing it or less, and you will upgrade your time. Your number one job as an employer is to replace yourself for the jobs that you were doing so you can do the jobs that you need to be doing. Thanks for joining us on today's podcast. Hope you had a great day. Thanks for sticking with us, and I hope you enjoy everything. If you want more help for your salon, do me a favor and send me a DM on any platform and just say, I need some help, and I would be glad to serve you, talk with you, find out about how we can help grow your salon, because I want you to get out of being busy and get into being productive. Thanks, guys.
Take care, guys. Later.
Thanks for listening to the Evo-Revo podcast. Today's podcast was brought to you by Salon Scale, allowing you to charge by what you know, not by what you feel. Please subscribe, leave us a review, and you can always get more information, including show notes and the video episodes at evorevopodcast.com.